Dwabengini on traveling with Otumfuo. That is really good. So no airport searches, and there's plenty of food when you travel with Otumfuo. Also, police intercept 50,000 rounds of ammunition. The 3 have been arrested. And Ghana Meteorological Agency should be blamed for Accra flooding. This is coming from a presidential staffer. And then stores assess damage after looting in South Africa's anti-foreigner protests. Also, government confirms death of Ghanaian in South Africa. Xenophobic attacks reveals his identity. Accra floods. Alajo resident explains why he demanded 3,000 Ghana cedis to retrieve flood victims' body. Also, Ivory Coast floods, 59 killed, as authorities fear death toll will rise. That means Cote d'Ivoire is also experiencing.
Yeah, so it was.
I have 2 more.
Okay, I was just going to comment on the flood that it was actually across the Gulf coastline. So Nigeria.
It's a coastline,
Benin,
so it always hits
Togo,
us.
Ivory Coast. In fact, I've seen videos from all 4 countries where it was terrible. So yes, we are giving our government stake, but I mean it was the rain,
Africa,
the volumes
all
of
these
the
countries
rain.
are in Africa, right? I'm only asking. Oh, please.
Yeah, they are.
They are all in Africa. Oh, okay, no problem.
It speaks to one thing.
Okay. So Gold Board begins implementation of new LBHA linked gold pricing system, and Ghana's economy among best performing in Africa despite Middle East conflict. President Mahama says that. So that is Ghana Web. If you should visit them this morning, GhanaWeb.com. You get all the news there. And then we have other news coming in as well. So over 38,000 people displaced, 7,761 households affected, and 12 persons dead after Monday's floods in Accra. This is by the Interior Minister. Also, our thoughts have not left Ghana. This is Black Stars coach speaking to Accra victims. Now, the discussion on flood should be devoid of blame game. Baumia saying so. Floods left only 1 chicken alive. Oh, that's a Dominion poultry farmer who's crying out for help.
Terrible for him, I mean.
Ghanaian travelers urged to adopt early planning as visa demand spikes ahead of a peak academic and travel season. Also, Ghana's Institution of Engineering prescribes 19-point plan to tackle perennial flooding. This will be very interesting to read.
19 points.
19-point plan to tackle perennial flooding.
Interesting.
Oh, that'll be very sweet. I was thinking this morning, you know, one of the institutions that we have left out of all the conversation concerning the flooding, the Ministry of Works and Housing.
We actually haven't left them.
The ministry. Oh, we have dropped them. Really?
Okay, so maybe we not mentioned here, but I know we've been talking about them, and
they are highly responsible. They are part of the team of irresponsible institutions that are causing this. So they are not responsible for this. They are irresponsible. So that is it. So you have other items?
Yes. Just a slight bit in terms of getting that for listeners.
Okay.
Also here, just a moment. We will not sit aloof. Ghana assures citizens in South Africa amid tensions.
Right.
Let's not make the mistake of electing another 72-year-old again. A+ is saying this: if you're tired, leave office for someone ready to lead. Samir Uku tells Mahama. Lands Ministry, Forestry Commission donate relief items to Samurai Boy flood victims, and Ramaphosa warns against violence as SA anti-migrant protests loom. But here's the case. It resulted in the death of one Ghanaian already, and we are not ones to turn an eye away when a Ghanaian suffers as a result of something like this. And already we're seeing the foreign ministry demand immediate action in that regard. Perhaps it will cause us to get a bit more in terms of details on that particular story.
Absolutely.
As to what happened to this said Ghanaian. I'll do 2 platforms, right?
Okay.
City Newsroom and then myjoyonline.com as well.
I have some good news here also for you.
Right, so maybe
Okay, so let's
give me
see.
the good news.
So it
first.
says that 48 engineers regiment to clear drains, support flood recovery efforts. This is by the Interior Minister. So we're going to use the 48 engineers to do this work from the military.
And there are some who even say that all the construction work you should be given to them
to the
because the
military.
discipline with which I think I saw a post from them that the expressway they've cleared about 40+%
Yeah.
in is it 6 weeks or 9 weeks?
Wow.
And they are looking to complete the clearing of the stretch, the entire work in terms of preparing the ground for construction to begin will be done in 13 weeks.
There was this ministry. I don't know if it's still around. The one that the lady had the money stashed in her home for the
sanitation works and house sanitation
Is it still,
and water resources. No, that was merged.
It was merged.
That ministry was scrapped under this government.
So
It's
you see,
been
the point
merged.
is that ministry should have gone straight to the 48 Engineers Regiment to maintain sanitation and order. You see, let us not joke about. Have you ever been to
The barracks and
the
all that,
barracks?
yeah.
Yes. When you enter, everything is properly arranged. Everything is in order. White stones are properly painted. Everybody is dressed appropriately. I believe that the order in the military has to be replicated in most of the places. So if you hand them, be in charge of sanitation and maybe spatial planning, Lord God Almighty, the country will transform. The country will transform because every time
It's not as easy.
Oh, it is very easy, my brother.
As you make it.
Oh, it is very easy.
I'll be very honest.
It is very easy.
As in what?
So
you
people are calling for.
Wait, I want to understand it properly.
Great.
When you say they should be in charge, as in they should be. The CDS should be the minister in charge of sanitation. I want to see how it works. How it works
It may not necessarily be the minister,
in the
but then the point is
suggestion.
that the 48th, the regiment itself becomes that outfit that is responsible for that. Much as I know they have engineering, responsibilities and so on and so forth. I'm just saying that 48. I don't want to say the military so that it becomes perhaps an aspect of the military. But I think if what I have experienced.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to get as in the dredge works and all of that. They should be responsible. They should be responsible for it.
They should be because the point is that it's a state institution, and if you're supposed to pay money to them, instead of going to private hands, it can go to the state. You get it? So state to state.
Yes, I can see that.
That is number one.
If a call like that is made, then look, let's have the 48 Engineers Regiment do a bit more in terms of construction.
And they would be in charge of all illegal structures that are littered around. If a house is not supposed to be built at a place because of their engineering background and spatial planning expertise, they would ensure that all these things are well done. And they would report to the CDS. And what betides you, if you go take money from a certain rich man and allow him to, build a house in a waterway?
Are we not? Are we not?
Yes, we are. You haven't asked the question, but yes, we are.
Throwing our hands up.
Yes, we are.
In despair.
Yes, we are.
Because we've had military.
Yes.
Ruling every facet of this country.
That is different.
Right.
That is different.
And so
there's
a thin line between the military. Okay, if it's 48th Regiment.
Yes, engineers. Regiment.
Taking care of specific construction, like we're seeing them do in the expressway.
All those things,
right?
Including spatial planning and sanitation.
Then we should collapse all of the ministries and the persons who are working there.
I do not have a problem with that.
Because that will mean I'm trying to process it.
Let's go. I'm getting interested in what you want to say. Reach that point.
I'm asking myself, the military cannot be asked to come and be doing the work of civilians.
No, they would not be doing the work of
persons
civilians.
Are being paid
They'll be doing work that will affect us positively.
At respective metropolitan, municipal, and district assemblies.
Excuse me?
No, I know the point. I know where you're coming from,
Yes.
and the fact that they haven't done great work and all of that. But will every solution to problems which should result from enforcement and supervision
Absolutely. Let me tell you. Do you remember
be an issue where we say we are handing over to the military? Because even the military, what makes them tick is order, supervision, and all of that. So why are we deciding to outsource everything?
Not everything. Everything.
I mean in respect to sanitation and water.
Yes.
When we can just copy the playbook of order, supervision, and getting people to do the work.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? How long has those ministry? Was in the Ministry of sanitation?
Yeah, it existed for 8 years.
Even under
but now it's under local government and then works and housing. I think they were split and they were.
Stop talking about let's copy. If they had the mindset and the wisdom to copy, they would have copied long ago. They haven't done that. So for the original, let's go to the original.
The military.
Let's go to the military where you know there is order, structure, and respect and authority. Because what I said in my submission is that they would report finally to the CDS. And knowing who the CDS is or the office of the CDS, you dare not do something terrible and come and report negatively to him. So I'm not expecting the Ministry of Sanitation or the assemblies and so on and so forth to say that, oh, let's go and copy the military style. No. Put it in the hands of the military. When you walk and you see the green, you would know that I need not move. When they say this property or this facility belongs to a military person, what happens to you? They come there in droves. You know that kind of thing. There is authority in the green.
But that's indiscipline on their part too. When they come in droves and they are coming to beat people.
No. I didn't say they're coming to beat.
Encroaching. No, I'm just citing.
So they come in droves. So they are an army. So they come in that format.
Yeah, you're bringing the armed forces into civilian spaces for civilian duties.
Yes, they are our friends.
Yes, nobody has said they are not our friends.
They are friends, yes. The point is that you have to respect order and authority. And we don't until we see the green. I was reminding you of the circle in somewhere. Yes, circle. It was under a gentleman called Salifu Amankwa when the beautification of circle was placed in his hands. Lord God Almighty. There was no way you would trespass. You'd walk on the grass. There were designated areas for pedestrians. There were pavements. And circle was not littered. The whole place was clean because his actions were drastic.
Was flogging people.
Oh, and that is the best. Have you ever visited Indonesia? Have you visited Indonesia? There are flower pots by the road. When you chew gum and anybody sees you out of your home with gum in your mouth, you'll be sorry. You remember there was an issue with the United States, a citizen who went to Indonesia and thought he could bluff and do all this kind of thing, chew gum and all that. He was
as in you are not allowed to chew gum
outside.
Outside.
Yes.
That's legislation.
Absolutely.
Right.
It's a bylaw in the local government, this in the books. So my point is that if we are refusing to think, and we have seen somebody who's already thinking, that is why I have issues with the football kind of thing. The moment we are all playing within the same circle, there is no way I would say that you have a better advantage. What is your advantage? What is your advantage? We all have the capability to excel at one thing. So the moment we sit in the same class, I should try and be like the person who's leading.
But you can't, everybody cannot be the same.
I should try.
Yeah, so try. Try.
To be like, because we're in the same class. And somebody will tell you that, look, when you put your mind to something, you can achieve it. I mean, when you put your mind to something, yeah, exactly.
The only difficulty I have is the bringing them into every space.
Oh, not every space, please.
No,
I didn't put them in the Ministry of Finance, did I?
No, this conversation is specific to sanitation. So when I say bringing them into every space, I'm just referring strictly to sanitation.
Oh Lord.
And I don't know.
Please.
Them being in charge of sanitation, that will be an indictment on
who?
Not on the uniform
indictment
field,
on who,
but an indictment on the citizenry and persons in charge of ensuring
Mawina, you are not
cleanliness.
With all due respect, with all due respect.
When someone says you are with all due respect, the person is about to disrespect
you. No, I'm not going to insult you. No.
So don't even proceed, because I know.
I'm not going to insult you, but I'm saying this respectfully and with no disdain to any persons or group of persons or any gender. You are behaving like the young lady who is about to be raped by a guy, but she refuses to scream because she believes that she is going to embarrass the guy, or people will hear that the guy is a bad person. You know that women shield men like that. Why didn't you scream? I didn't want to embarrass him because there were many people in the house. No, don't do that. Don't say that it's an indictment. The people are already indicted. How many people have died so far? 19 people have died. How many displaced? Over 11,000 displaced. And you are telling me that the solution...
We've had task forces which are not...
From who?
And you see, that's why I say the military aspect is not what we should go to, because you lived in the era of town councils.
Yes.
The solutions have existed before. We've abandoned it.
Thank you. And to bring it back, hold on. And to bring it back,
let us bring it back. And instead of saying the military
people, they are going to put their party people in those places. And like I said the other time, familiarization is just too much. This is my point. Do not let people who live in Adabraka work in the town council at Adabraka. No. People who live in airports do that. No, they are too familiar. Hey, Kofi, how are you? Maybe even I'm wealthier than you are, or I took care of you, and now you're in the task force, and you come to my house. Hey, Auntie Fio, be like, you know that kind of thing. Let us erase it. So bring people from the north to Accra. Carry people from Accra to the western region. Carry people from the western region to the Volta region. Carry from the Volta region to the Asante region. That is how you have to do it, so that I'm not familiar with you. I don't know you. Mine is to come in to tell you that where this is placed, it is wrong. Where your house is being built is wrong. We break it down. We should stop provide permits or stop work and produce permits. We should stop that.
You know what I'm going to use to answer this?
Yeah.
Compare government schools.
Yes. Government schools.
Basic level.
Yep.
And private schools.
Yep.
All have teachers. Mm-hmm. All have students.
Right.
What brings about the difference in quality is supervision.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Is supervision. Mm-hmm. In a private school, you dare not fail to prepare lesson notes, turn up to teach, ensuring the students understand.
He's answering my question for me.
And all of that.
Yeah.
In government spaces.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
We don't see that supervision.
Great.
That has always been the bane. Has never been a subject matter of familiarity. It has never been a subject matter of party boys. It has never been a subject matter of that. Supervision is what it boils down to.
Thank you.
Persons taking action and ensuring. So I always sit here and I ask myself, when people wake up and go to work at government institutions, what the hell do they go and do?
Thank you. So he's answered my question, right?
So
if you're working under the 48th Engineers Regiment, the military, and they had a tacit role of ensuring that whatever you're supposed to deliver, you deliver. You are telling me that the ordinary Ghanaian would not yield to that. Please, we need certain structures to put us in position. So, for example, when there's no police person from the MTTD at any crossroads or any T-junction or anywhere that cars use and is traffic prone, what do we see? There's chaos. The moment a policeman walks in there is what? Order.
Because there is... The person who has come has brought order.
No,
so
the person is an authority. Let any young man come there ordinarily and try and stop or regulate the traffic. You know what happens? A driver would just try to drive through him. Some people would respect him, others would not. But how dare you drive through a police person? You dare not. You dare not. So mine is that whatever put fear in us, we must instill it and ensure that that thing works. Why is it that when we travel outside the country, we see the American police and with how gorgeous they are looking, how huge they are looking, with everything stuck around them, and you're telling me that you don't respect them? you would respect them. Ghanaians respect authority. We say they excel outside the country. Yes, they do, because the systems work there. And for the system to work here, I am only telling you, when I walk into Burma camp and I see the order.
You are making my point from you.
And we are making the same point.
The order, when you step outside of this jurisdiction,
yes,
is not enforced by military persons.
Which order?
The order you are talking about, that when Ghanaians step outside of the jurisdiction and they are in the US,
yes,
wherever, and they are obeying the laws, it doesn't require 48 regiments to ensure sanitation.
Do you know how it was enforced?
Do you understand?
It started by military action. Military has enforced a lot and instilled a lot of order in so many countries. In so many countries. The military has done so.
But we've seen the military in the past.
Yes, but the point is that there was no blueprint. How come it stays within the barracks, yet outside the barracks it is not working? You know, back in the day, from the Elwak area, from Burma camp, all the way to Labadi area, you had the military police. They had the military uniform and then the red. The moment people saw them, they were like, hey, you have to respect it, my brother. So my point is that, look, let's not belabor it. Let's not belabor the point. A lot of the ministries that have been given the responsibility of taking care of housing, taking care of sanitation, taking care of the assemblies, that is, what's the name, local government ministry and so on, they are all sleeping. They are all sleeping. And it is ear-jarring for you to come in every day, wake up, and it is the same matter, the same matter. Government has now advanced funds. How much? I think 300 million or so to
350 million from the contingency fund.
What do you think that 350 million could have done if we had to ensure that the banks of certain rivers were stayed off? You get it? So we are knee-jerkers. It happens, and now the president is instructing the finance ministry to release the funds so quickly. We listened to Honorable Muntaka, and Muntaka is saying that they are going to relocate or rehabilitate, what's the name, all the displaced people. Going to give them food, going to give them support. Why do we have to wait for all these things to happen? And in the midst of all these are squatters and illegal residents. They were not supposed to be there anyway, but they are there. But now they are going to benefit from the tax that you and I pay. Who has that oversight responsibility? My point, simple, is that when you're driving on the motorway and you look down from just close to where the East Legon football field is, opposite, there's a big gutter there, and there are squatters over there, a lot of them. We have seen these things. It started with one kiosk, to 2, to 3, to 4, and they have landlords and landladies because they are paying monies to people. So for me, my point is that, look, we have to be brute at certain things. Otherwise, we would never see any result. Because when you are so slow with the Ghanaian, they will ride over you. Right. When you are hard and rigid on the Ghanaian, they would respect you. It's just a simple, commonsensical approach to making living comfortable in this country. Should the point
not be strong men?
From where?
In stronger institutions.
Have you seen them in NPP or NDC?
You understand?
Have you seen them, young man? Have you seen them in NDC and NPP?
And a good morning to lawyer Jean-Baptiste Aja. He says he agrees with you.
Yes.
We need strong men to establish strong institutions.
Absolutely.
I'm just saying that it shouldn't be the military.
Oh, you are not getting my point.
Because there's a comment on Facebook. Awuku Ishmael, God's Voice, Agbenu says, tell Patrice that I was in Winneba UEW 2017 to 2019.
Thank you.
I know a military senior official and hydrologist building in wetland areas. Please, the whole facts remain on discipline and proper supervisory bodies, because he knows a military person who is building on wetlands, a person who knows discipline. So it is.
So there's an army of them, meaning there's a team. And then there's an individual. That was the point I was about to raise to you. And I picked this thing that the military is not a headphone or a microphone. They are all humans as you and I.
But it is supervision.
Exactly, because that's the responsibility is there. Among all the institutions in Ghana, that is where I see a lot of discipline. And I'm saying, with that blueprint, let us allow them to lead the way first of all. Under a democratic dispensation, let them lead the way. When they lead the way, people would follow suit. There are times that there are places you would dare not pass, even the military person is not there.
You know what I want, Frederick, fine for me.
Yes.
Since this government came,
Yes.
they made a number of appointments where military persons were put outside of security agencies.
Right, okay.
Right. I want to see a number of those institutions.
I hear Gapo. Go to Gapo.
What's happened there?
Yes.
Right.
There's transformation at Gapo because of the leadership.
And whether military persons automatically make strong leaders.
Okay.
It's a curious question.
Yes.
Do they automatically make strong leaders and bring supervision into respective agencies?
Captain Amwabeng retired.
No, it's something we can
Captain
box around.
Budukumsin.
And also why
Yes.
we have failed to see supervision
Yes.
at respective government agencies. Like, what is the problem that prevents state institutions from being able to work because of a lack of supervision? Is it that people cannot wake up and just go and do the job they are required?
Remember, there was a time Haruna Idrisu. I think at that time it was
so
labor
Frederick,
and
please,
employment or something.
Gapo, you mentioned Gapo.
Yeah, Gapo,
I'm sure a number of
I've
such
mentioned Captain
institutions.
Budukumsin. I've mentioned Captain retired
I think
Prince Amwabe.
So I think we can try and list
exactly,
and have a look at those. Whether automatically a military person brought to a place
some transformation
brings about transformation and results in the turnaround of the institution per se. I want to see if you appoint a military person automatically, so for a ministry like for an agency like Highways Authority, who should be out and doing a number of things, and a number of these agencies.
Put a military engineer over there, and you would see the change.
I want to know if that automatically translates into efficiency, and all of that.
MCEs, DCEs ought to come from the military.
Everything. No, everything will become the military.
You see, the point are living conditions, living situations. Without order, nothing would work. And the key thing, like I mentioned every time, is the assembly, because they are the ones that we deal with on daily basis. So if you don't bring that militarized mindset and have their leadership headed by the military, who will report to the CDS for responsibility purposes, and to instill order in society, my brother, we would miss the boat every time. That is what we do. Oh, military, they are too this, they are too that. Let a civilian do it. Yet, we fool around. Let us stop all these things so that when the rains come again, we don't come and sit in the studio and talk about all this nonsense. Because now it is proven that people have built in waterways. People have built in waterways. What do you expect us to do? What do you expect us to do? My point is very simple. I have seen a blueprint of how they operate. If it is something that we wish to copy, we would have copied it long ago, but we have decided not to. I am saying, let us start it in bits and give certain aspects of rulership to them and leadership to them, some aspects of state institutions to them. And you would see the turnaround in a few seconds. Just seconds, you will see a turnaround. I still believe that the military needs to be put in those positions. I still believe absolutely. Because for them, they are so regimented that when they even leave the military, they still live that way. They still live order, precision. Look, I visited Captain Amwabing, and I had issues with picking a few clothes, and was like, Patrice, when you come to my house, I know where my singlet is, I know where my briefs are, I know where my shoes. He knows where everything is, everything plays. Even in his home, there is order. So my brother, we have seen it. Those who experience Salifu Amankwa at Circle will tell you that during that time, Circle was green and sweet.
Chen bearded.
Oh, bearded started something, but he couldn't sustain it.
Was not a civilian.
Was
not a military.
Did he sustain it? Was he able to sustain it?
I mean, political pressure was.
He couldn't sustain exactly. Obeche Bilamti, beautification of Accra. Did he sustain it? All he did was to put up a plaque. That's all. May so rest in peace. But then these are the people that we put in positions of authority. When what's the name? The past minister, the huge one, the one at the Odona area. What's the name? Is it Quarty? Is it Quarty? Quarty. It was
Henry Quarty.
When he started and he was getting things off the road, demolishing this, doing that, what happened? Politicization. Go tell the military man that what you're doing is wrong.
Wouldn't that even affect the military?
It would not.
You are very strong. You are very strong in the conviction that the military answers all things.
Yes, to a large extent they do. To a large extent they do. And even in the US, the moment the military, you see an army of them walking in town, that means there is a problem somewhere, and they are there to resolve it. When anybody sees them, even in the US, where the police is strong, when you see the military in town, that means, Charlie, trouble come. So for me, the presence of the military is very essential because they are highly disciplined from where I sit. Unless you go into those who went to the gold areas, what's the name of that place?
Galamsey.
The Galamsey areas where they were corrupted.
He says
where they were corrupted, except those people. But I mean, for works, in this regard, I think I'll cede to them. I'll cede to them.
Right. Let us know what you think as well. We're live on Facebook, 3FM927. Same handles on YouTube as well, 3FM927. That's where we're streaming. Yep. And you can share your thoughts with us as well as we continue in the review segment of the show here this morning. Patrice of the firm believe that the military will bring about a certain level of discipline in all things. Yeah. And so, yes, but I'm going to get into that story now about the Ministry of Foreign Affairs confirming the death of a Ghanaian, and says that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs has said that it received with profound shock. This is on 3news.com, right? And sadness reports of the fatal shooting of a Ghanaian national, Mr. Bashiru Isaac, aged 40 years in Khayelitsha, Cape Town, South Africa on Monday, the 30th of June, during an anti-immigrant demonstration linked to ongoing xenophobic attacks. The government of Ghana, in the statement issued by the ministry, condemned in the strongest terms the senseless act of violence and the rising tide of xenophobia targeting African nationals, including Ghanaians, in South Africa. The statement said that the taking of any life is unacceptable and those responsible must be brought to justice without delay. On the instructions of the foreign minister, the Ghana High Commission in Pretoria has formally registered Ghana's protest with the Department of International Relations and Cooperation and has subsequently filed a complaint with the South African police. The ministry said these steps were carried out after having confirmed the identity of the deceased and notified the bereaved family as well. I mean, it's horrible news waking up to find out that a Ghanaian had been shot. So apparently the news was that he was shot, and it's just terrible. What's been happening in South Africa.
I applaud the Minister of Foreign Affairs for the steps he's taking, and including all the letters that he's written to the various institutions that are responsible, plus the embassy, the South African High Commission, and it is becoming one too many. I think when we had to go evacuate our citizens from South Africa, many were of the opinion that Ghana was rushing ahead of time because it was not too necessary. Ghanaians were not the citizens that were being targeted, but it turns out that that was exactly what it was, and that act was in the right direction as put forth by the foreign ministry led by Okujeto Ablakwa. In certain regards, we need to advise our Ghanaian citizens also, and by extension all African citizens who are residing in South Africa. South Africa is making a few calls. Some are good, the others are so terrible. They're telling them, move to your countries and then implore your leaders to fix your country so you can stay there. That is a good call. That is a good call, and it's an indictment on a lot of the citizens who found their way into South Africa, because if you had fixed your country, it is one way or the other, by inference, that nobody would leave your country where there are goodies to another country where there are same goodies. So fine, that is fair enough. So they are instructing us that we should fix our countries, and it's an indictment on the leaders.
That statement is inherently even wrong.
Is what?
Right? It's the position is inherently wrong.
Why?
They are citizens of the U.S. who are here in Ghana, pursuing
what work are they
investments,
doing?
pursuing investment and interest, right?
Yeah.
And so, for them to say go and fix your country
Yes.
and leave ours and
It is because of the jobs that the Ghanaians are going there to do, because they believe they're doing menial jobs that are reserved for the ordinary South African.
fair point. But
Yes.
we have also seen,
Yes.
right, for us here in Ghana, as an example, the GIPC law says if you want to engage in retail trade, you need to have X
A
amount.
million
that,
US dollars.
right?
Yeah.
That same qualifications exists in the case of South Africans.
Yes.
They can argue some persons do not have or have not met the threshold.
Absolutely.
I've seen videos of persons who've met the threshold
Yes.
and yet still were being attacked.
Okay, so
That's why I said
that is the
that
excess.
argument is inherently wrong.
No,
because
that argument may not be wrong, because there are excesses.
Persons traveling
Yeah.
to another place to go and work is not automatically symptomatic of a failed nation from where they are coming from.
I believe so. I think otherwise. So there's a song that was done in Cote d'Ivoire. The title of the song is Adu Kofi. Adu Kofi. Go and look up Adu Kofi. And the meaning of Adu Kofi was that Ghanaians were traveling to Ivory Coast and they were doing the shoe shine work, and that is the cobbler work. They were doing the menial jobs that they thought that the Ivorians should do. And they did a song to that effect, that why are Ghanaians coming into their country to come and take up these menial jobs? You get it? I am saying that there were excesses, and we accept that there were excesses with regards to people who had the full qualification and were doing certain aspects of work. And the South Africans extended their xenophobic attacks to them. That is not what we're talking about. We're talking about the core. I put it in 3 phases. The first phase has to do with the core, that go to your country or your various countries and employ your leaders to do what? To fix the country, just so. And it's a good call. That is a good call. The xenophobic attack is what I am averse to, because it is not right for you to take the law into your own hands, to instruct people, sack them, beat them, and do all sort of things, even kill them, to do all sort of things. The third one has to do with the authorities of South Africa just looking on, because thus far we haven't heard that 2, 3, 4, 5 people have been arrested in line with this. So it looks as though the entire country is in favor of it. The other conversation has to do with the fact that this was a deliberate attempt at the time that South Africa was an apartheid country, that they educated more of the women than the men. So most of the men are in the ghettos and they are bereft of any academic qualification. So what happens? People come from outside and their girls are more attracted to those outside because they are educated, because they are clean, because they are this. So, and the guys are like, you can't take advantage of us. You can't do that.
But that's not an immigrant problem.
Well, but you see, the point is that their mindset has been
which is fair.
Yes.
That a lot of the men there during the entire apartheid and all of that were not educated. But I insist strongly that going outside of your country's jurisdiction to work elsewhere is not automatically symptomatic of that nation failure.
What is Trump doing?
When they say go and make your country better and all of that, they
didn't tell them to go and make their country better. They said go to your country and tell your leaders, push your leaders to fix the country so you can work and do such things over there and not come to South Africa and take up jobs that we are supposed to do. So let me just refer you.
There are persons who travel.
The retail markets. Don't you see Guta and so fighting the Chinese and Nigerians?
Because they don't meet the requirement.
Yes, because they are trading. Somebody say, I'm just an African person. Look at AFTA, the Free Africa Continental Trade Area.
I understand fairly
yes,
the point.
But they still say that do not retail because it is in our laws that you are not supposed to retail. Leave that retail option to the Ghanaian. The South African is telling you that leave these menial jobs to the South African. Go to your country and let them fix it so you can do that. That I agree and I accept 500%. What I disagree with absolutely and vehemently has to do with the actions, the terrible actions, the xenophobic attacks, the killing, the maiming, the hurting, that disorientation of somebody's mental ability is one thing that I am against. Do not do that. And I'm believing that the state must issue statements. There was an interview on a sister station, and I thought the host of that program did Ghanaians a great disservice.
How so?
I think he was just playing along with the South African, what's the name, representative. He was playing along with us. That is a very serious matter. And you don't get him and put him on the bowl and then you are cajoling him with soft questions and just being... No. Let them know that what is happening in your country is wrong and you are against it. Do not condone such. I am saying three-pronged approach. Number one, fix your country. Yes, fix your country. Fix your country. It's a right call. Fix your country. But your call that you're making, don't extend it. Don't maim people. Don't destabilize people because you're already there. What people are thinking, and I'll say this, is that they were believing that it was not the Ghanaians or other Africans that they were targeting. They were targeting the Nigerians.
No, but Nigerians are Africans too.
So they're saying that collateral damage.
No, I don't think it's collateral damage.
We couldn't have singled out only the Nigerians. Everybody must now go. It's like throwing away the baby with the bad water. Yeah, that's it. So that is what they did. It's collateral damage. We want to kill Mawina in the studio, but there's Patrice and all of us should die, but they want Mawina dead. That is what happened. So they were targeting the Nigerian citizens, but they couldn't have picked them or handpicked them or cherry-picked them. Everybody must go so that you go with the Nigerians.
So on the point of retail, certainly.
Yes.
There are laws that govern retail trade and all of that. And so those conversations can be had.
Yes.
As in, this is retail business. It's supposed to be done by South Africans and what have you. That's a fair argument to make.
Yeah.
Right? It's a fair argument to make. But increasingly, in the very first few hours, first few days, right? Rather, not hours, when these shops began to close, what it revealed was a troubling reality, even in South Africa, that the indigents did not own the retail spaces. They were not interested in owning the retail spaces. And so I've seen numerous videos, South African nationals themselves saying that they went through town and shops were closed. Why? The shops were owned by other Africans. When you ask these foreigners to leave, and I'm not making an excuse for persons operating in the retail space in their country, right? When they ask other African nationals to leave, they don't take over the businesses and try to run them, right? Because for all those retail shops, they pay taxes to the South African government. People come around and take taxes from them. When these shops are closed or when you are handing them over, they raid them, leave them empty, and go back home. So the argument is not one of, you are in our retail space, and yes, the laws exist. Some persons, in fact, per what I have seen, I'm not speaking directly to say hairdressers and what have you, right? Some have acquired the rights, authority to operate. They are coming under attack. For the hairdressers and the other persons who are in the menial jobs and what have you, I've seen some who've lived there 20 years, have had children and all of that. They raid their shops and then they leave. They are not interested in continuing operating the business. They raid the shop, leave. Yeah, you've sacked the person is gone. Now, who is attending to the need in the community?
I mentioned 3 things that I believe the state is playing a part of it, because if you're saying that these people pay taxes and the state takes taxes,
I've seen a video. I mean,
yes,
not one, not two.
Yeah, they pay taxes. So that means the state would know that when you close the shop, I am not going to have access to the tax that they're supposed to pay. So they would come in and stand in and say no, but they never said no. So that's why I said there's a state plan. Number 2, you were saying that when they shut all those shops and those companies and all that, they do not take over. There are 2 things there. The point is not to take over. The point is to sack everybody. They were targeting a group of Africans and everybody fell in as a collateral damage. So that is the other point. The third point that I raised had to do with the fact that the level of education, they made sure that a lot of the men or the males in South Africa were not as educated as the females.
It's been 20 odd years,
yes,
Patrice.
so
20 plus years.
A mindset. Please don't let me even go into the football thing that
20 years. And
anytime we play against a European country, we fluff. And you've seen that. So it's a mentality thing. Yes, we're not going there. It's a mentality thing. So 20 more years. The point is that even there's the allegation in South Africa that the African or the blacks who took over the reins of South Africa even suppressed the black people more.
It's 20 odd years,
yes,
26 plus years where they should have changed
done what?
And provided a bit more in terms of education and corrected all of that.
Jacob Zuma, who? Which of them? Which of them? It's a popularity contest. So the most popular person wins, not the most intelligent or the smartest leader leads in Africa most of the time. 99% of the leaders in Africa are just popular personalities. They are just popular personalities. When you and I were in school, it was the authorities who chose who the school prefect was, the deputy, the dining, the library, the sacristan prefect. And they chose people till date. All the head boys at Infant School, we call them head boys. All the head boys or head prefects, for everybody to understand, that were chosen since I went to Form 1 till we completed school, everybody is an erudite citizen today. They are all excelling because the teachers or the masters could see in those people the quality that they had. And every prefect who was chosen, I don't know about other schools, they are all living well and practicing good traits. So for me, we got it all wrong. So let's come back to South Africa. In the midst of these xenophobic attacks, if you're a foreigner living in South Africa, do not engage anybody with rancor. Do not go into a fight with somebody. Don't go into an argument with somebody. Do not go into heated debates or arguments with a South African. Because the person feels that I have the whole community behind me. So when I take any action at all, it looks like I am right at doing that. You believe that you have earned your space. You live there. Perhaps you're even a South African citizen now. You get it. You pay your taxes. You do everything accordingly. So nobody can take your power away from you. Yes, you can stand your grounds in that regard, but not in a confrontation where it could lead to the loss of a life. You can argue your point, whatever you want to do, but even the strictest American will tell you that when you see a gun, run. When you see a gun, run. Because the gun has only one message: to eliminate. Do you want to be eliminated? So when they're speaking to somebody, they pull out a gun, just raise your hand and say, sorry, forgive me, I'm gone. Because the gun only understands one message: maim, kill, dismember, unalive. Do that. So for me, that is the advice. Don't try to engage anybody in any fisticuffs. Don't argue with anybody who is not rational about what is going on, because they don't see the reason in the fact that you are a bank manager or you're working with an institution, say MTN and all that kind of thing. They don't see that. They would leave you. All your friends, all the South African friends will leave you. Don't wear that. So please, We commiserate with the family.
Absolutely.
Yes, it's been said that the body's going to be brought in
demanding a bit of action as well.
Absolutely. I mean that is what it is. And I applaud the Ghanaians who went on demonstration at the MTN offices, because MTN seems to be one of the largest, if not the largest, what's the name, mobile phone company in Africa. So they had to send a message to them, thinking that they can amplify it to the South African authorities, so they mellow down or simmer down on all these things that are going on. So for me, well, sad news as it happened. We don't know the circumstances under which the shooting incident occurred, but like I'm saying, be mindful when you are arguing with a South African in their country where they have the whole community following them or backing them. Be very mindful. Don't try to stay your grounds. There's a way to stay your grounds. You can go to the police station or perhaps go to the courts. Don't try to argue it out with them. Otherwise, now one of us is gone. Sadly, what can he say? What can he do? If he had dependents on what are they going to do? If he had a wife and children, what will happen to them? You get it?
Terrible. You're still live with us here. 25 to the top of the hour here on the 3FM Sunrise. We get a bit more in terms of other stories as well.
Oh yes, the other stories there.
And what's been happening. Yeah.
Yes. Let me see if I can put. There are some beautiful stories here. Yeah. Well, okay, so there you go. So,
right.
Oh,
you may have lost it.
Yeah, but no. It's sad news. I don't want to read it. I mean, it's got to do with the flood and all that kind of thing. I don't want to.
So more and more bodies have been
found. Yes, that's it. Yes, Kaswa, some have been found.
I think yesterday. I mean, the flood conversation is not one that's going to go away from us anytime soon. We tried to even engage the GPRTU, I think, on the day,
exactly,
on Tuesday and all of that, and that is beginning to come to bear. In terms of all of the developments from there, but I think, Frederick, if you go onto our Facebook as well as YouTube, you find a bit more in terms of details as to what we're sharing about number of persons who've been displaced
in Ghanese.
So Ghanese is where we are
alone.
2,000 persons
from 400
households, 6 missing individuals and 5 deaths. In Lejokuku, 1,200
persons.
That's
your area. Okay.
Persons from 240 households. 1 person's been reported dead.
May so rest in peace.
Ayawaso Central, 3,021 from 605 households. 3 deaths with 1 person missing. That confuses me a bit.
3 deaths, 1 person missing. So they still haven't found the person. So they don't know whether the person is dead or the person has resurfaced somewhere else.
Gas Central, 1,811 displaced, 363 households with no missing or dead person.
Right.
Gas West, that's Amasaman.
Oh, okay.
And its environs. 2,300 persons, individuals displaced, 460 households affected. Ablekuma North, 651 displaced persons, 131 households affected, but no missing or dead person rescued. Ningo Prampram, 1,377 from 276 households
impacted. Okay.
Wejagbawe, 2,500 individuals displaced, 500 households affected.
How? Weja surprises me.
Weja always floods.
Wejagbawe, it surprises me because the Gbawe assembly seems to be one of the most coordinated. Because I hear you can't just build anyway, anyhow. But then we find out later that when you go to, that is where the Weja Dam is. They have sold lands to people close to the dam, close to the Weja Dam. They have. So 2,500 individuals displaced, and then 500 households affected. Okay, so that is Wejagbawe.
Yeah, so that's Wejagbawe.
Yeah.
Then Ga South, 2,100 individuals displaced, 420 households impacted. At Denton, 1,850 displaced, 270 households affected. Koli, Klote, at Circle and its environs, 6,500
displaced.
1,300 households. And so we're looking at Ga East, Abokobi area, Lejokuku, that's Teshi. I also Central Kukumlimle areas, Ga Central, Sotum, Ga West Amasaman, Ablikuma North, Kwashima, Nodoko, Awushi, Sakaman, Nyameche areas, Ningo Pram Pram, Wejak Bawe, Ga South, including English Yaman from Botiano, Kokrobite, Tuba, and Oshiye. I didn't see Kole Kloti. At Denton as well. Then there's Kole Kloti at Dabrakasek, Lusu, Okaikwe South, including Kaneshi, Awudu, Mebubo, Ashiaveno, Okaikwe North, Achimota, Bekatesano, Akwete Ni Boyman, Abufu, Apenkwa, all those areas. Tema West, including Sakumono, Bachuna, Lashibi, Klagon, Ajay Kojo, Halcrow, Jatabu, Kasajan, Railways, and Kaiser. And then Tema Metropolitan area, there's Ladadeko Topon La, Crow, Nungwa assemblies, and when it rains, at La, the La Palm Beach, the entire place. My goodness.
Do you know the reason? So when we spoke to the MCE, there's a lagoon across that people have, what's the name? They fill it with sand and stones and debris just to build on it. So that is the reason that place floods. Now, I am quite sensitive to the plight of people who find themselves in such situations, no doubt about it. But going forward, I'd like us to focus on a few things. And here is what I say to these things. We're looking at the number of displaced people. We're looking at a number of houses that have been affected. What are the quality of houses we are talking here? What kind of houses are we talking? Are we talking about properly built houses based on permits, or we're talking about illegal structures? So let us be careful not to lump everything and say, oh, wow, over how many houses displaced? 1,400, 1,200, 800? No. Please, let us be mindful about the houses that we count. Are they properly built houses based on permits from the assemblies? Or they are makeshift houses? Are they squatters? Or they are people who have been legitimately allowed to live in those areas or to put up structures in those areas? So we have to put all those things into consideration. And my point again is this. The location of those so-called houses that have been displaced and the people who have been displaced, were they supposed to be living within that community? So if it is a waterlogged area, or it is what's the name? A marshy area, or it is a lagoon, or it is a river, or it is a lake, and you are not supposed to live there, why have we been allowed to live there, and then we are going to use the state's money to compensate all these people? So my point is that in Ghana, largely, illegality pays off a lot. Illegality, it pays off a lot. We know per the laws that when you stay at a place for more than 12 years, when government decides to use that place for a facility, you have to be compensated, even if you were there illegally. So when we see no parking, no stopping, no hawking and all those things, can't we put a sign, no living, or no building, or no staying? Why do we allow people to encroach illegally on lands, and then we wait after a period of time, decide to build properly now, and then we say we are going to compensate all those people? Now, the motorway construction should have been done long ago, but you know why? Those on the peripheries, because of the amount of money that we needed to compensate them, we had to stay off till now that we are able to do it. The strategy now that people are adopting, those in political office, those in authority, they know these things, that government compensates people Whenever they decide to build and it takes more than 12 years, you stay there more than 12 years. So along the motorway, all the way to Ada, crossing over into the Volta region, people have purchased all the lands along the road. Politicians have purchased the land along the road. What are they expecting? They're expecting that when it gets to a point where government wants to do something at Pram Pram, at Ada, at Sukakope, at Dabala, and all those things, they will say that, oh, those who live along need to be compensated. Then the monies come to them because they are fully aware of the fact that this is what happens after 12 years. So my point is very simple. Need we pay off anybody who has illegally erected a structure or put up a property or a facility along a line where they are not supposed to? It is your negligence. So why should the taxpayer pay for your negligence and deliberate attempts to ensure that you are staying at a place that is wrongly placed? So for me, all these things, they point to the ineptitude in the sort of leadership that we select. Poor leadership. And we've spoken about poor leadership since when? Why should we keep on talking about poor leadership, poor leadership, poor leadership? It irks me, my brother. It irks me because day in, day out. Look, there are better things people are doing. People are inventing things. People are creating new things. People are doing new things. But we talk about basic things. So if Trump calls us by a certain name as a shithole country, Trump is so right.
You can't use it.
Forgive me.
You can't use
Okay, sorry. But if Trump calls us by a certain name, he means it. And it is a fact. You and I live it. You get it? How many times don't you complain when you're on your way home? Or when you're coming to work and you see something that is wrong? Hawking is illegal. Do you know that? Hawking is illegal.
I mean, it's almost been institutionalized.
Yes, hawking is illegal, but yet we see people and we just drive by them. You get it? So why compensate people who live illegally on a structure? So we're talking about 1,000 this, 1,000 that. So we have something here. I hear there's Garrett.
Yeah.
Garrett was meant to fix something. Yes, with your kindest permission. It says Garrett was supposed to.
In terms of
flood risk management.
Yeah, in terms of everything that's supposed to
solid waste
to
management. Flood anyone is
we receive free money.
Look,
from the World Bank to help deal with flooding in the capital.
Mawina. So Garrett, flood risk management, Odo basin drainage, solid waste management. Are we joking? There's a company called Satarim in the US. Satarim came to Ghana. Oh, okay, so there's more on Garrett. Satarim came to Ghana to convert waste to energy. And they wanted to they said, bring us all your waste. We'll convert it to energy and we'll pay you and pay the municipality monies. Because somebody wanted kickback. They never allowed it. Otherwise, all this waste that we are seeing, because the tonnage of waste that they wanted, even Accra alone was not going to be able to meet it. So we had to mitigate it by getting some from, what's the name? Ada and Pram Pram and all those areas to mitigate the quantum of what Satarim wanted to do. Check the books. That time, Okovandapoy was the minister or the Greater Accra regional minister or something. Go and check. You can call him and ask him if he knows about Satarim. So my point is that companies are there, available, ready, and willing to come and ameliorate the situation. But yet, our authorities, they I don't know, they put spokes in their wheels so that it doesn't happen. Then we put up Garrett and say that they're supposed to maintain that.
I think there's a comfortable nature with which persons thrive and enjoy success of chaos. Right? That is why a lot of what we complain about, that's the reason why it persists. Someone benefits from the status quo. Even with respect to flooding, I'm tempted to believe someone is benefited because it doesn't make sense, right? And I'll point you to a lot of examples. This Satarim you make reference to. Someone wants to benefit or profit off a contract like that. If benefit doesn't come They are not a part of it.
Personal benefits.
Right.
Yeah, for them it's personal benefit. Yeah.
And so, increasingly, a lot of what we complain about does not change because persons are benefiting personally and directly from the chaos that exists. Right?
Yeah.
So this, what you're seeing on the screen, right, is World Bank funding to help Accra deal with its flooding situation. And on the base, what I want to say is that a lot of times we cite examples as to what has happened in the Netherlands and other places. It's capital intensive. Let's not kid ourselves. Realistic questions can be asked. Do we have the money to $5 billion, in excess of $5 billion, to deal comprehensively with flooding in the capital?
I'll say yes.
The answer is no.
I would say yes.
No, I'm saying. Yes. I mean, we all know why you say yes, because if you cut the loopholes and you prevent corruption and all of that, money will be available. And so, on that basis, you can say yes. But what do we deal with presently? What we deal with presently, we are even borrowing to pay salaries of public sector workers.
Can you imagine?
That is the present state in which we are in. We borrow to pay public sector workers.
How long will this go?
We are borrowing to fund our budget. And so that problem exists to start off with. And so $5 billion is not readily available that we can dip our hands into and begin to deal with flooding in the capital. But when monies are available, like funding is made available, like in the case of the World Bank, making as much as $350 million available, the expectation is that when used judiciously, it can help mitigate the impact.
Mawina, please read what is there, what you see there. And if you have access to Facebook, just go on the three.
So originally, we agreed $200 million in 2019. By 2020, when COVID came about, we had to see $65 million of that to COVID response. The World Bank, being magnanimous, said they approved additional 150, which we see as well in that 2014. It's a repetition.
So 135 and 150 now gives you 185, 285. No, 285.
No, in all it's $350 million.
Yes. Okay.
In all it's $350 million. And per what was agreed by 2027, which is next year. No, don't look at the parliamentary approval. The parliamentary approval is pretty much what was approved from that World Bank financing. And so don't look at it separately.
I should look at it separately. Okay, right.
Don't look at it separately.
Thank you.
And so all of that, by 2027, which is next year, the project was supposed to be closing and reaching its end.
But the date has been extended.
The date will be extended because the works have not materialized. We've not seen a lot of what. Yesterday, Mr. Isi was here. He's former NADMO communications director. He told me clearly that what was supposed to have been done was storm drains created and affecting persons who were living along those areas. Politicians looked at votes and said, oh, give the money to the assembly so that they will use it to develop or they'll use it to deal with the issue in their own municipalities. And he told me, I'm not the one saying,
I heard him.
He said he didn't understand it and he disagreed with it because that is not the intent of this money, of this project. But nearing votes, what have you? And so we find convenient ways to use money and all of that.
There's a special conversation I would have with you on why not everybody is supposed to vote in Ghana.
Oh, I beg you.
I told you there's a conversation
we'll talk about this.
Democracy is not about everybody voting. It is so flawed. The democracy that we are learning, we haven't learned it properly. Not everybody is supposed to vote.
Everybody has the right to vote.
No, everybody has not got the right to vote. I kid you not.
Adi versus Electoral Commission.
Oh, please. That is Electoral Commission.
Everybody.
That is what we call
18 years and above.
That is what we call modus operandi.
Right?
Read.
So
No,
you
there's
have a proper
There's
conversation
something
about
called
this.
modus operandi, the way things must go, and there's modus vivendi, the way things ought to go.
Ought to be.
Yeah, exactly.
Ought.
So please, let's the fact that it is democracy doesn't mean everybody must vote. So you have gone to school, you are educated.
Who are you going to tell not to vote?
Oh, you can restrict it. So are you telling me that looking at you and your achievement, your exposure and your experience and everything you have done, your thinking abilities, you decide to vote for him? Then me, the drunkard, the terrible guy in the neighborhood, the useless guy, hold on, would also come and vote to nullify your vote.
What makes you think that the educated person, which I am, and
Yes.
my choice of vote
Good.
is correct?
So there is
Because
yes.
If we want to talk about some of the people who've done the country in the most, it's the educated
There's something
person.
called requirement. There's something called requirement. You
Yeah,
see, it's you.
Because then I'll vote for someone I know because I'll benefit something.
Yes. My point is that, hold on. The point is that before somebody says that I am going to vote, what are you protecting? What do you have to protect? What is your level of exposure?
And what I'll use to finally battle this argument to make
we'll
is
have
that
it.
entrenched positions
We'll have
in
it.
terms of votes
Yes.
exists in all democracies.
All the squatters who are not living appropriately, they are defecating in water bodies close to you, in rivers, in streams, and all those things. They are not living. They are not exposed.
They don't have a right to vote.
Why should they vote?
Then tell me why the person who cuts deals
Yes.
and is getting kickbacks.
deals where?
No, in high places.
Yes.
The person who is cutting deals
Is the person supposed to be
at an
arrested?
agency is supposed to be.
Is the person supposed to be? Supposed to be arrested?
Why is the person who is defecating openly not being arrested?
So there's something
too?
called requirement. The moment
The Constitution has set the requirement.
No, forget about the Constitution. It was done by.
You
It was
will
written by
forget
people.
about what
No, it was written by
Constitution?
people. I'm not saying that the Constitution is not a good.
No,
good
I know. That's what
What I mean, what I mean
is
is that it was written by people, and we need to scrutinize it. So there was this story about a man who was married to a woman. Anytime they bought fish to cook, the woman would cut off the head, cut off the tail, and cook only the middle part. And the man asked him, "Why do you keep on doing this?" It was like, "I learned it from my mom." So he went to ask the mom, "Why do you do this?" "I learned it from my grandma." They went to the grandma to ask, "Why do you cut off the head and the tail and cook only?" And he said, "At the time, in our days, the cooking pans were very small, and you couldn't cook all the meat. So the best part was the middle. So that's why I cut off the head and cut off the tail." So they were working with a warped mind that the head and the tail were not necessary for cooking. So all those who brought about the democracy, people say democracy is not good for Africa. Democracy is good for everybody, but it is how you implement it. It is a growing document.
We'll talk about
That's
this.
it, yes. We'll talk about that.
You bring
Not everybody must vote.
your points,
I'll bring
and
my
the
point.
rest of the panel will bring
Not
their
everybody must
points.
vote. That's why that you say, I don't want to use those words on air, but we denigrate certain people, and you know that this guy, he's not intelligent. You tell him not to do this, he will repeat it the same day, the same time that day. That's your houseboy or your house girl or somebody that you are like, and this person will go and vote to nullify what you have put out there.
I said nullify. Well, that's